This podcast is brought to you by SeatGeek. Our friends over at SeatGeek are giving us a promo code of TBA Wrestling. That is TBA Wrestling for $20 off your first purchase. Enjoy the show.
Welcome to Gunners R Us, where we are positively Arsenal.
And that we are.
Yeah, we are.
And we're back to a duo.
There's so much happening though, so I'm amped.
I'm amped as well. I did a solo one last week, and there was a lot had happened, and that was the week in which Gyökeres, the first bit of conversation had started. Madueke conversation had started. Obviously, I had the Thomas Partey information at the end of it, and then I had, I think that was it actually. I think Norgard had just signed officially.
Yeah.
And I felt, and in all fairness, since then, no one's actually signed.
No, there's a lot of nearly.
There's a lot of conversation, not a lot of paper being scribbled on.
Yeah.
But the big thing that's coming up is this Saturday, Arsenal leave for Indonesia. And I think they've got a game in Singapore. But they head that way into East Asia.
Yeah.
On Saturday. And apparently the whole point of all of this, the reason we've been going quite fast, is Arteta was desperate to have the number 9 particularly in before we went away to that pre-season part where we play, I think it's AC Milan, Newcastle and Tottenham.
Yeah.
Which begs you to believe Arsenal announced a female, the new one of the, I think it was a backup keeper for Arsenal yesterday. Which again, they have to also think about these announcements. You can't just throw an announcement out in amongst, because you're showing you disrespect the other announcement.
Yeah.
So you can't go, here's the new women's keeper and here's Madueke.
Yeah.
Because you don't want to bury it. You want to kind of each day have something.
You got to spread it out.
Yeah. So I thought, once I saw that, I was like, okay, they're not announcing anything today, but I'm fairly sure the Madueke deal is done. I think they've recorded stuff. I'm fairly sure. Because he was at Wireless this weekend.
Oh, okay.
And so he's in pre-season mode.
Yeah.
He was at Wireless before Chelsea had played their Sunday game. And he, somehow, between the semi-final and the final of Chelsea winning the Club World Cup, he had come home, done a medical, joined Arsenal, gone to Wireless on his pre-season, and they hadn't even finished their season.
I like how much he wants to join Arsenal that he walked away from the Club World Cup where he would have won the Club World Cup and then came to Arsenal.
Well, he did win the Club World Cup.
Yeah, but he wasn't present. Like, he wasn't part.
He'll forever have won it.
Yeah, true.
He's got a medal.
True, the stats are there.
Yeah. But, yeah, so if you think about it, this is Wednesday afternoon. I can't imagine. I think literally, if I remember correctly, we announced Norgard the day of when we recorded last week.
Yeah.
Or it might have been the day in which I recorded last week. I can't remember.
Did it not happen just after we'd recorded?
I think it did, yeah. There was one I remember us saying throughout the episode. I'm fairly sure it's going to be announced today.
Yeah.
And I do feel like today something will be announced. I don't know what it will be announced.
It always feels like it's after our podcast.
But there is a rumour floating around that they reckon Maresca gets announced. Madueke gets announced today. Maresca gets announced Friday.
Yeah.
And then Gyökeres Saturday. And if you remember when Rice signed a couple of years ago, they announced him the day of the American tour.
Okay.
Which, because obviously once you're there, for example, if they can get this Gyökeres deal done, he's in London. He's been seen in Heathrow a couple of days ago. So
loitering.
There's stuff happening. They want him on that tour. He's had his pre-season.
Yeah.
Post-season. He's kind of gone on holiday. He's done all those things.
Yeah.
So when you think of it that way, there's no reason why he won't be going on the pre-season with us. They can't really just have him appear at the pre-season without announcing him. So they kind of got to speed this announcement up, because before you know it, they're recording all those bloody Fremy walking down the aisle on the plane and all that. And if he's just sat there, they're like, oh, it puts on hold a whole business that is connected to the business.
Yeah.
If you know what I mean. Like, there's a whole infrastructure around content and money they make on that.
Yeah.
That they have to actually get the announcements done before. They're like, oh, I can't show 2-minute training video without editing him out if he's in all the shots. Like, you know what I mean? Things like that. So
it's going to be speedy. It's going to be quick.
So I can imagine between now and next week's episode, I reckon that we would have announced Gyökeres, Maresca and Madueke.
All that's left is Eze.
Well, that's what's interesting as well, is what the biggest interest one is. Madueke, I don't think will be into training with us until Emirates Cup time. So he's not probably going to start the season with us, because
He's got a post.
He only finished on Friday his season.
Yeah.
And then he went to wireless. That was the start. And you need at least 2 weeks off, minimum.
Yeah.
And in 2 weeks is the Emirates Cup. So when you think of it that way, he's going to have to get back to fitness.
Yeah.
And if you're going to places like wireless and that, chances are your fitness is dropping already.
Yeah.
So, there's all these kind of things. I mean, we've started this podcast hot. We didn't even start that properly. We just went straight. I just started divulging information.
We just started talking. I mean, to be fair, the other night on the way back from a show, we we pretty much covered all the bases. I think both days of the shows. We had 2 shows, Sunday, Monday. The car journeys were very much... I think on the way there, we discussed wrestling. On the way back, football, it was very Arsenal.
Very football heavy.
So I think we're just running hot off the back of that.
Well, that's the thing, isn't it? Is you kind of have to talk at each other at it. And I'm hoping that's what this podcast does for you. That's why it's Gunners Are Us, and we're on iTunes and Spotify. Give us a 5-star review and check us out on TikTok. Do a video every single day.
Well, this is
Arsenal news.
Yeah, this is their way of joining in on the conversations we have in cars.
Because I know so many people that are Arsenal fans that don't necessarily have an outlet to chat to. I always have Joe, which is what we do the podcast for. But it'd be nice to hear it because I mean I must admit we were talking about early in the summer. There's days, and I've had it recently. There's been days because of how mad this transfer window has been that I'm like scrolling, and I'm probably including our podcast. I'm downloaded like 4 different podcasts.
Yeah,
Ask Us, Arsenal Vision, I think Handbrake Off, and this.
Yeah.
And I'm like scrolling like every day, like updating, like, oh, come on, I'm on Ask Us's Patreon, scrolling that, going, come on, give me something, give me an hour or something. So I'm hoping we can be that for you, where you can chat about Arsenal, or at least just hear information.
Well, yeah.
Because that's all we're really doing, isn't it? Like when this is the podcast, I'm not necessarily worried about opinions. I just want to hear talk about Arsenal again.
Not every podcast is necessarily going to break news.
Yeah, we're not going to argue about a point on it.
No, you're just listening to other people discuss the thing that's going around in your head all day. I mean, I took a break from Arsenal podcasts a little bit post-season. But since all of this has been happening, I've been sneaking them in every now and then. Like yesterday, I was organising the raw freezer at work. Like we work at an animal rescue.
Yeah. And
we have freezers for the raw food. We've got a big delivery turning up, so I had to move them from freezer to freezer to freezer. I just had Arsenal Vision pumping out back there just so I could hear some...
Shout out Elliot and Clive.
Yeah, some good Crest talk. That's all I wanted.
That's the thing that's what... And again, obviously, join their Patreon and things like that. I'm not on Arsenal Visions, but it's very tempting at this point just to how much I want to hear Arsenal content because they do daily transfer roundups with Elliot.
Yeah.
So, and it does feel that way. Like at the minute, I feel like I do need like 2-3 hours of Arsenal content.
Yeah.
I'm literally scrolling their YouTube to see if they've announced someone. But again, it's a product of our own downfall, really. It's strictly because if we weren't this busy, I wouldn't be doing that.
No.
Usually in the summer, I'm not this intently checking. Oh, sorry, Luca.
Well, there's not much to talk about, really, usually.
No, and like we've said before, the usual summer would be we bring in, Norgard and Madueke.
Yeah.
And maybe Kepa.
Yeah.
And it's spread out over 3 months. And none of them necessarily fill us with huge excitement.
No.
So we're not scrambling for content.
No.
But I mean, I found myself watching the Norgard behind the scenes like 4 times now, just because I'm waiting for another video. I want someone else. And again, I still can't even imagine a Gyökeres one of those. Like there's Gyökeres particularly, but Gyökeres and Eze, even Madueke.
Yeah.
There's an element of when I watch it, I'm like, I can't see that guy being all like
touch and win.
Yeah, I keep joking about it. I think last week's episode I kept saying I can't imagine them touching the dog yet. And they've got to touch the dog. Otherwise Timber will start, doing Bible passages at you.
You have to touch the dog.
You will have to touch the dog.
Ben White will hate you.
And the thing is, if you're coming in right now to do the medicals, everyone's in Spain. And I think it ended last night, the Spanish part of the tour. I don't know if they're going straight from here somewhere else. But
Wynn's the only one at the training ground.
It's Wynn and Timber. I mean, if you want 2 more kind of strict adversaries.
Wynn's strict.
Wynn and Timber are both very strict. So, like, if you're doing your medical, you're going to walk into that room. You're going to see them both on a cycling machine, and you're going to have to, have a chat.
Yeah.
Because that was what's interesting about the Norgard one was like Gabriella. He was checking if he was fit and all that, and he was being really nice. But Gabriella was very much like, "Welcome to the club," but I don't know you yet, so I'll talk to you in a bit.
You got to prove something.
And I can't imagine Gyökeres. I mean, I watched the Sporting Lisbon Arsenal highlights this morning.
Yeah.
Again. And I mean, Gabriel couldn't wait to do the mask thing. And he doesn't do the mask thing. He didn't do the mouth. He did the eyes, which was his own play on it. But even watching Saka run over laughing and doing it.
Yeah.
And I thought, now that guy's here. And again, who cares? Like, that's just football. Like,
Sportsmanship.
It's a bit of fun, yeah. But I don't know. I can't see the video of Gyökeres playing with the dog and then going to talk to Timber, and I just can't imagine it. So that's why I think I'm more excited to see it.
Yeah.
Because it very much feels like 99.9% is that we are going to see that.
Yeah. Yeah. Albeit we were always there's always that element of doubt in the back of your head that something's not going to work.
And I'm interested as well because we haven't gotten out of control for these the content around signings. Like Kepa's was a quick, him like I think it's like his hands like touching a flag or something. Like, I think it was just that. And it said Kepa, and that was it. And it was just him looking at the camera.
Yeah.
And then they released I don't even know if they did it behind the scenes, but they released I think it was just an interview, like a 6-minute interview.
Yeah.
And then Zubamendi, they did a bit more of a video.
Yeah.
It was where he sets the tempo with the Ezra collector. But I just really enjoy it because in the behind the scenes you see it, they're like run really quick and he's like and he keeps having to do deep breaths. But they had a bit more of it. It was like a 2-minute announcement video.
Yeah.
It was setting the tempo and it had like a vibe to it. Then they did the 6-minute interview and then they did the behind the scenes.
Yeah.
Then Norgard got there, and I think people joked, and I think I've joked on the podcast last week that people were saying, with Norgard, you don't have to do all that. He's just in the starting lineup in the next preseason game. That's all you need to do.
Yeah.
Don't even announce it.
Yeah.
Just let him be in the lineup. Just let his work do the talking.
Yeah.
But with him, again, it was one of those flag type videos. It was just kind of him staring at the camera.
Yeah.
Norgard signed, similar to Kepa. And then there was an interview, but then there was a behind the scenes.
Yeah, we've got all the loveliness that came later.
Yeah, and that was, I think the behind the scenes is what's kind of probably brought us all closer to him and like made us fall in love with the guy.
Yeah.
Because it is just very, very heartwarming watching it. But collectively, I like the fact they do kind of understand like the optics of it. Like if they'd done a huge 6-minute, you remember the Declan Rice announcement video where it's like looking across London and there's I think Stormzy starts talking to him and there's all sorts of
documentary, like a mini doc.
Yeah, and it's really built up. If they did that for Norgard, I think people would be mad, even though Norgard deserves that, I'm sure. But I like the fact they understand, well, maybe he doesn't get that, he gets this. He gets that, he gets this.
Levels.
But I tell you what, Gyökeres, they're doing the big one for.
Oh, yeah.
No doubt.
Well, we've been waiting for this for so long.
They might even have Tom Hardy in there with the mascot. I don't know. Do you know what I mean? They're going to go big for that one.
Yeah.
Whereas Maresca might he might be rubbing his hands on a flag. Do you know what I mean? I think we might see Maresca's hands a lot.
Oh, we're going to see Handsy.
They're going to put
Handsy McGee. Yeah.
Handsy McGee. He's going to be rubbing his hands, and then they're going to show his name in italics.
Yeah.
And then we're going to go.
I mean,
thank you very much.
You may even just go through the Arsenal Direct shop and see his shirt name in there. Or something.
It might just appear.
It could just be his name
in
there.
Do. But the thing with Maresca is a really good one. Is I think he is a fail-safe. I think he is such a big young centre-back.
Yeah.
That's quality that Arsenal using that as this year is a very smart one. One, we're going to get him a year early, which is probably very similar to Saliba. If you remember, we got him for 30 million.
Yeah.
If we got him a year later, probably 50 million. Year later, another 60, 70 million.
Yeah.
With Maresca, I think if we wait another year, it's going to be a 55, 60 million pound signing to have to then try and replace Saliba or Gabriel potentially.
Yeah.
Whereas they're going early and get minutes into him this year if you do have to do the big PSR selling of a centre-back, Saliba to Madrid screams a lot, that he's ready to go and he's a young, big, strong centre-back that we can all get comfortable with this year. So it's a smart signing, but yeah, he doesn't need that pomp and circumstance because it does feel a little bit, you're over-egging the pudding a little bit, well, maybe.
Considering a portion of the Arsenal fans are kind of not angry, but not happy with everything somehow. Even though all this goodness is happening, I feel like that is part of it. I think, I think you explained it in the car the other day that if you've got to be smart with how you unveil these signings, because you don't want Arsenal fans to then be like, yeah, we're glad you've done all this, but we really need this. And it's mad, isn't it? Because it's all optics, and optics is a very fresh word,
in the channel and in between the lines and all that. It's all in that kind of vein.
Yeah.
But it's true, and content is, someone said the other day that, there's a whole business that's ran off of these, the business of buying and selling players.
Yeah.
So like, there's a football business. Then there's a business inside that business, which is to buy and sell players.
Yeah.
There's a business that is reporting that business.
Yeah.
Then there's a business that is the content that is reporting that, like us.
Yeah. Yeah. Like how...
we're sitting here talking about transfers, not football.
Yeah.
So
we're talking about the business.
Yeah, and with football clubs, content is one of those things.
Yeah.
And especially at Arsenal, you have Frimmy and people like that. And shout out to Frimmy, by the way, is Justin Bieber very rarely tweets.
Yeah.
And his only tweet is just a video of Frimmy in his house dancing to his new album. So shout out to Frimmy, who's getting a lot of coverage at the minute from Justin Bieber.
It turns out he's not just a paper fan. Like, he's actually a fan.
He put something up the other day that was like, he had like a Puma kit on again or something.
Oh, he does it all the time. Like, he'll put up a load of pictures in a row, like, a photo
slides.
dump.
Yeah.
And one of them would just be Thierry Henry.
Yeah, it's really interesting because when, like, he does that, and then when they go talk to him at the preseason, he's like, oh, no, I don't know. And you're like, oh, maybe he's just kind of just turned up to a game. And then he does like a deep cut. He put like a picture up with him in Parlour or something. And you're like, what? And then the next preseason, they're like, so how long have you been supporting us? And he goes, I don't know if I support Arsenal. I saw there was a game on. And
he's working us all.
You're like, what is happening? And the next day, he sat there with Lorraine. And you're just thinking, what is going on? Seagan's in his dump now.
Seagan.
But, yeah, shout out Frimmy. But Frimmy's whole job is this content. When he goes to preseason, he's going to East Asia now.
Yeah.
To do the sights and the scenes, and he's got to get a load of people in to do Guess the Gunner.
Yeah.
He's got to, get people in a car to sing along with him. He needs to walk around Singapore with Jorginho. He's not there anymore, but Norgard's going to have to see a lot of Frimmy.
Oh, yeah.
And that's a big part of the contract conversation because Madueke's probably going, I want to be here. And they're like, you're going to see a lot of Frimmy.
Oh, it's very tactical. Content is tactical. Like, you can't put too much out. You have to... Each player has its own level, depending on, because fan response is a big part of that. And we all know, as Arsenal fans and other fans know it, there's a portion of Arsenal fans that are a nightmare. Like, they don't paint themselves...
some of the worst fans in the world,
Oh, man. Like some of them don't paint themselves in the best light, and I don't appreciate it because it makes us look bad.
Well, like we were saying as well, with the content as well, they have to, even it out across a lot of... You need everyone in the content. And you don't have to, but the reason for that is because, for example, that Norgard content they put out, the behind the scenes, how many people are going to go out and get a Norgard shirt this year that probably wouldn't have until they saw that and went, do you know, I love this guy.
Yeah, I mean, of all the signings, I think I said a few episodes back, the one I really want that I'd get on a shirt is Eze. That's the one. I mean, obviously if that doesn't happen, I can't. But as time's gone on, there was things adding up with the Norgard one. He's a quality player, similar to Madueke, always in my fantasy team. Then you watch the behind the scenes, he endears us to him. He looks so excited to be there. And Arteta loves that. You know he's going to play for us. He's going to put it in. Oh, yeah. He's going to work hard. And then he goes and gets my bloody lucky number on his back.
Yeah, he does.
So I'm like...
But that's what I mean. The content is king because... Yeah. Now you're driving shirt sales. Shirt sales are a big part of how you have PSR and all these things. So there's so much knock on, like I was saying about, business on business on business on business.
Yeah.
It's the same with the content and it sounds silly and how you announce these players. But getting back to what we were kind of saying was Maresca is going to be rubbing his hands on some flags.
Yeah.
And we're going to see a little interview where he's going to go, I grew up watching Seagan and the boys. Koscielny's my idol.
Sonderos.
Yeah, Mertesaker's my idol. I just want to be here because they're all young now, and he was born in 2004. Maresca.
Yeah.
So by the time he was 10, it was 2014, and Arteta was retiring.
Yeah,
and it's very unnerving when you hear
Terrifying.
that. But he'll be sat there going, the best two centre backs in the world are playing at this club. I want to be here. I need to learn under them. I grew up watching Koscielny and Vermaelen.
Yep.
And he's going to say all this stuff, and he's going to be sat there, and he's going to look terrified in that little studio they do it in, that little cinema room.
Yep.
Because that's how they're doing it this year. Because if you remember the Rice year, their way of doing this, every time we sign someone, they just have the whole team in that cinema room.
Yeah.
And they would just go, everyone welcome in.
Yeah.
And he'd just be sat at the back, and they'd the camera pan. You're like, look, there's Declan Rice.
Yeah, just wave.
And I must admit, they showed that, because obviously it's been 2 years since Declan Rice signing, and obviously... congratulations to everyone that celebrates that every year, like we do.
Yeah.
One of those videos of him, it is mad how different our squad is. And I know preseason's different to the season because a lot of the players you don't necessarily want to see are in preseason. This year, like we were saying, I think we've been saying the last couple of weeks, this season, our preseason's mad because the big boys are there. Saka's there. You know, the training videos you're seeing in a minute of Zubimendi, it's him, Saka, Havertz, Odegaard. It's everyone. Saliba. It's the big boys. Whereas usually at this point, you got Reece Nelson and Zinchenko doing tiki-taka, and we're going, do you know, let's just watch it anyway.
Well, there's elements to it, though, isn't there? Because, I mean, pre-season is important. I know you don't always have the big boys because a lot of the time they're resting off the back of a tournament for their countries or something. These are the games. You've only got a few games before you start the actual proper games.
Yeah, you got to get going.
You've got to get going. Plus, you've got these new signings that have to incorporate. So we're going to have to see a mixture of the first team and the new signings. And not just that, they're going to have to hype up and promote these new signings by putting them on this tour to sell tickets, to sell shirts, to get the hype up.
Yeah, business on business on business.
It's all business.
But the thing is, as well, I was looking at that Declan Rice video of him in that little cinema room. And literally the players around him when it pans is Rob Holding, Hein, the keeper Hein.
Yeah.
Marquinhos, Cedric, Holding, I think I just said that.
Yeah.
Tierney, Zinchenko, Jorginho. I can't remember. There's someone else. But I was looking at Pablo Mari.
Oh, yeah.
And I was looking at it going, what are we doing? And that was the year we were really challenging.
Yeah, we thought we were in.
That was the big challenge year.
It's mad. The levels are mad.
Yeah, and I was just like, that was... when we watched that Rice video, we weren't sitting there going, God, look at the state of our squad. We were going like, hell yeah.
We're like, oh, we've added Rice now. To that. We're going to win.
And then like this year, like when they do those videos, like for example, with Maresca, they do that where they just, you know, we're about to get on the plane and they're like, everyone introduce yourself to Maresca, he's our new signing, whatever. He's going to be sat there with Odegaard, Saliba, Gabriel, Zubimendi, Havertz, Saka, Martinelli, Raya.
Absolute animals.
Yeah, it's Moreno. You just sit there and go, oh, the squad is so different.
It's essentially a zoo of animals.
The equivalent of Cedric, Hein and all that now is, and Tierney and that is, Zinchenko.
Yeah.
It's Waneri.
Yeah.
It's Calafiori.
Yeah.
And that level difference is massive over 2 years. And what's scary is when the players we were just saying, that was the year we challenged the highest we've ever challenged.
Yeah.
To the last day.
Yeah. If we could do that with them, then this, touch wood.
We should be able to do it, but we'll get to that because I think a lot of the conversation today has got to be on how stacked the Premier League is going to be this year. Because the title of this podcast is going to either be 100% to do with how stacked the Premier League is, or I'm going to call it business on business on business.
Business. Standing on business.
Yeah, standing. What's the thing that Bieber said this week that I thought was really funny? It's funny that you're not clocking it or something. He said something like that.
Oh, yeah.
You're not clocking that I'm standing on business or something. He said something. Yeah. Whatever that quote is, that's the name of this episode.
Yeah.
I'm going to find that quote and that's going to be the name. Because Bieber has been already talked about. And he probably said clocking it because he's thinking of the clock end. Because that's where his dreams come true. Is
oh, absolutely.
Like he's so deep.
I'm sure
he just wants to see Luzhny one more time down the left.
I think we're one season away from you don't only turn up to the training ground to touch win on the first day. Bieber's going to be standing there as well.
Yeah, Bieber will be sat there, sad obviously.
With his hoodie on.
Playing that awful album he's just put out. I've tried to listen to it and I must admit.
He's in a funny place. I do follow the lad on Instagram. And
people are calling that potentially the best album that's ever been made.
I haven't heard it yet. I mean...
it's got rave reviews. Like everyone across the board is saying how good it is. I listened to 2 songs on the way to wrestling the other day and I thought, I can't listen. I don't understand when I'm supposed to listen to this.
Well, I mean, that's on us. I mean, we're not... We
totally disagree.
But I mean, it's not for us.
It's on you.
It's not for us.
It's not on me.
It's not for us.
It's not for us. It's not for anyone. Apparently it's for everyone. But I found I didn't understand what I'm supposed to do with it.
I feel like that a lot these days. I don't know if that's age or like the kind of music, but we've always said if you're relaxing, it's country music. If you're
getting excitable,
it's Parkway Drive.
Yeah. But that's what I don't understand. What other emotions are.
There's no in between. There's no in between.
Well, the other emotion is I don't know what it is.
Like, I mean, at 42, I can't be sitting sad in a hoodie.
Yeah, but I mean, if you're seeing street lights and you're driving at night, London Grammar's all right. Do you know what I mean? But
yeah.
This one's not even for that. It's not going to get you dancing. It's not going to get you singing.
Yeah.
It's not catchy.
No, I mean, wait, when was his last album? Was like years ago.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
That last album was good.
Well, you could tell from the last album that he was watching a lot of Amarlin at the time. That was the thing. Is like, and obviously Denilson had got him down.
Yeah.
Now I don't know what he's doing. I think he's excited about the transfer window, and he brought an album out. Here's what I was getting to: the content. Maresca's going to rub a flag.
You better touch the dog as well.
I don't know if we'll see him touch the dog.
Oh, you better do it,
Because I don't think I saw Kepa touch the dog.
Yeah, but we don't have to see it. As long as Ben Rice sees it.
No, they're going to have to do it. I watched Norgard walk near a dog, and Arteta stood near him, and I think he said, pet the dog. And then he said, that's win.
That's what we do.
I think he stands near him while he touches them. Just to make sure that he's touching them fully.
He gets closer.
He does a little bit.
He's already got his hand on the back of his neck.
Yeah, I showed Dad that Norgard one, and I think it was Stivenberg when he saw him. He goes, he's slapping his stomach very hard.
He's checking the stomachs a lot.
You have to, they're all checking the stomach.
He's doing that, I've noticed that a lot.
Yeah, they are checking the stomachs.
He's not going to find much when he touches Gyökeres as well.
When he touches Gyökeres, someone might get hurt.
Arteta will break his own arm and still get excited.
What is it? It's separate to the whole day. That'd be a great name for this podcast as well.
What?
Arteta will break his own arm and still get excited or something like that. I think that's what you said. But here's where I'm getting to.
Yeah.
Maresca touching a flag. Norgard, he touches a flag. Kepa touches a flag. Zubimendi gets the Ezra Collective involved.
Yeah.
Gyökeres is going to get Tom Hardy involved.
Oh, yeah.
Now, where does Madueke sit in the content of this? That's what I want to know. That's the big question. That's the real question here. We're not worried about inverted half spaces. What we're worried about here is what kind of content is Madueke going to get? Are they going to go, do you know what? We know the optics aren't great and people aren't too chuffed.
Yeah.
Do we just have him rubbing the flag?
Do you know what I think it's going to be? I just had a vision in my head of how it's going to play out if I was directing it.
I'd have him remove the do-rag off of Declan Rice's head and put it on himself. That's how I do it. He has his headband on.
I think, and I know they can't do it because it's a little bit nasty to Chelsea.
Yeah.
But
he burns a Tottenham shirt, then a Chelsea shirt. Because they're the teams he's played for.
It's a good way to endear him to Arsenal, though, because, I mean, I'd have him driving down the exact road that you'd go down from that part of London to our part of London in a very flashy sports car.
Yeah.
And it's, when
you're trying to get upset the fan base.
Yeah. Like, you try and...
I don't think you're on the right wavelength here.
But you know the car. The cars,
I think we better just have him touch a flag.
Do you remember Aubameyang had those cars that change colour?
Holographique.
Yeah, he's driving one of them. It starts off blue, and then as he gets faster,
he whizzes past Tottenham at one point and goes silver for a second.
Yeah. And then it just keeps changing colour as he gets closer to the Emirates, and then he screeches up to the Emirates.
Honestly, Joe,
you know the roundabout with the cannon at the front.
I know exactly the roundabout.
He screeches in there, gets out, and just starts walking towar's the Emirates.
He walks past all the graffiti of anti-Madueke signs that Arsenal have already put up. I'm gonna full transparency. I've said this before off mic, and I think I might have said on mic. I'm notoriously bought a Willian shirt because I thought he might turn out all right. So I'm not really someone you should listen to his opinion. I feel quite good about Madueke.
Oh, he's quality.
And I think the hate is just mainly online. I don't think you're going to see that in the stands. I don't think there's going to be anything in the stands.
That's that small portion.
And I'll tell you this, the minute he does a couple step overs and gets a goal straight, which will happen pretty quick, people won't really care.
Oh, everyone's going to have a headband on.
But what I'm interested about, is what the content is, because he's somewhere between it all. And like I said, with the people that are a little bit unhappy as well, do they go full force with him? Do you know what I mean? Like, did they get everyone on board more by doing something like you've just said? Obviously, they're not going to do what you just said. But as you started talking, I thought the idea got better.
Yeah.
I think that'd be brilliant, in all honesty. Some kind of changing colour thing, I think I like that.
Yeah. I think that sort of stuff...
Even if the headband was changing colour, like, there's a headband on the floor, it's blue.
Yeah.
He picks it up. And as he holds it in his hand, it turns red, then he puts it on.
Yeah, stuff like that. Like, it endears you to him because he's basically saying, look, I know I was there, but I'm here now.
Yeah, he made a point. I mean, he literally left winning the World Cup.
He could have been up there with Trump. He could have done all sorts.
Yeah, lucky boy. He could have done it. And he chose not to. And I think really just wanted to go to wireless and he didn't like the fact he's in America.
True.
I think that's the actual honest to God truth. No, I don't know. I'm just interested. I think we will get a behind the scenes. We'll get an interview. And I think they'll go not Gyökeres big, but I think it might be bigger than Zubimendi. It might be similar to the Zubimendi content.
Yeah.
I think it'll be almost identical to Zubimendi level. So I think therefore you've got Kepa, Norgard, Maresca get the flag treatment.
Yeah.
I think Zubimendi and him get the Ezra collective. And then Gyökeres, I think they go big. And then later on in the day, as the season goes on, because I think Eze is not going to get done until, by the looks of it, I think by the end of this week, those 3 players will be announced and we'll know who's touched flags and who hasn't.
Yeah.
And who's touched the dog, which has to be all of them.
Yeah.
But as of pre-season, it'll go quiet. Once we're over there, I think it'll go quite quiet.
Yeah.
The Eze deal could rumble on, and it
Yeah.
could turn into a Rodrigo deal. It could turn into an Eze deal.
Yeah.
I think I saw Xavi Simons has got a release clause.
Okay.
He plays a very similar game to Eze.
Yeah.
Morgan Rogers, Villa have got all sorts of problems with their PSR. I think whatever that last... I think there will be one more sign. I think these 3 signings will get done. We'll go away. We'll do these 3 games over in Asia. And Bert will be working hard. But the signing won't happen till post-Emirates Cup, whatever that last one is.
Yeah.
And that'll be it. And I can also see like someone said the other day, they're like, I wonder if like a loan gets done or something.
Yeah.
With a big player or something. But I don't think we necessarily need... I think we do need these 3 players and one more. But I think the last one will depend because I think these 3 players will get done. And then I think while we're away, we'll sell players.
Yeah.
And that will determine whether we could buy Eze, Rogers, Rodrigo or Simons or whatever.
Yeah.
I think that there's going to be a lot of outgoings because we haven't really had an outgoing. I know Tavares counts as this year. I've read earlier that someone else counted this year. Someone got sold from a different club.
Oh.
Someone was like, it's like we were like 2 clubs ago, but we got like 5 million something. Or whatever.
Yeah.
It was someone, I can't remember. Jorginho, Partey and Tierney have all left the club for free. So it'll be it's interesting because there was a lot of information that Trossard was going to leave the club.
Yeah.
He then changed. Then it looked like he was going to. We were giving him a pay increase. Do you remember that? That was about 2 weeks ago. They were pretty confident on that, like the in the nose.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden he changed agent, and now there's talk of him going to Turkey and stuff like that.
The Trossard one is very much the one that I think will determine what we move to next. Like,
I think Trossard and Martinelli are unbelievable both at the same time.
Yeah.
I wouldn't want to lose both of them, but I understand if you're bringing in more players to freshen it up, you have to at least get rid of one. I don't want it to be Martinelli because I think we all hold pretty...
It's upside to Martinelli.
And also, someone brought it up earlier. If you look at the last 2 seasons, if you remove penalties from... what's it called?
The stats?
Yeah. He's got more goals than Saka.
Wow. Yeah.
And when you look at it that way, you're like, God, he's so under the radar. Because again, if you said now Martinelli's our penalty taker, does he score more than Saka next year? Maybe.
Yeah.
So, he's the highest scoring Brazilian season ever in Premier League history.
Yeah.
A couple of seasons ago. With 13, I think it was.
Yeah.
He's a really good player, and he shouldn't be not in this team.
No, there's room to grow.
And I get that. And also, I think if we're looking at Rogers, Eze, that type, that's more of a Trossard type.
Yeah.
I don't think they're the same as Trossard. I think Trossard is more chalk on the boots, stays out wide more than like an Eze or a Rogers. But I think Eze could easily fall into that left side and, it's a different style of left. I think there's also... The signings are really telling me that maybe Arteta's got something in his head of maybe a 4-4-2 option.
Yeah.
And I think that could be coming back into vogue when you look across at, we'll get to that in a minute, with the Etikite, Newcastle, and all of that 4-4-2 looking madness.
Yeah.
But I got a feeling Arteta's got something up his sleeve that we're not going to play it every game.
No.
But he might have a style in which he gets, the likes of Eze, Odegaard, Saka, Madueke, Gyökeres all in the same team at times.
Well, there's times, obviously, we've seen it before where you just can't unlock it.
Yeah.
Like the amount of times that you're in a situation and all we've got is a cross.
Yeah.
So that is a big part of it, is overloading it with creativeness.
Yeah. Well, if you think about it, if we do bring in, let's say it's Eze, by Christmas time, if they're providing no injuries, if you're starting Gyökeres, Saka and Martinelli, your bench options up front would be Madueke, Jesus, Havertz, Eze.
Yeah. Yeah.
Waneri.
Yeah. Yeah, and where he gets forgotten
Moreno.
about this, yeah.
Yeah, and it looks like, as of today, it looks like Waneri has re-signed.
Nice.
And that's another announcement video they've got to do. 2 that are really interesting is, I think it's Saliba and Saka still haven't re-signed. So they're going into the last years.
Oof.
Which could be Do you want those two to go for free?
That'd be sticky.
The fact that there isn't any worries and there's no real talk about it, and there's no real talk of either of them leaving this year at all,
No.
tells me maybe that deal is a lot closer than it's being. Like, no one's reported it because maybe no one knows, but maybe they're very confident in, like, we just haven't got sat down, but we're all very much happy to stay.
Yeah.
You know, I don't think Saka's going anywhere, especially right now. I don't know why he would, unless he's got big aspirations like Trent and people like that to go to, like, abroad.
Yeah.
But I just don't know. I don't see it.
He's a bit too ingrained in the club and London, and there's too much there, and he's got too much still to gain at Arsenal.
Well, I'll say that. I'll put this to you. In 5 years' time, if I name these players, out of these 5, who's still going to be at Arsenal in 5 years' time? Waneri, Lewis Skelly, Saka, Declan Rice, Saliba.
Out of all of them, can I name multiples?
Out of those 5, who's going to be still at Arsenal in 5 years?
I don't have to name one.
No, any of them.
It can be any of them.
Could be all of them.
Declan Rice.
You think still at Arsenal?
Yeah.
5 years?
Yeah, I think he's there.
When he's 29.
Yeah, I think this is his. I think this is the one he's gone to try and get everything in the prime of his career.
Gotcha.
Lewis Skelly, I think, is still there.
Yeah.
And I'd say the last 3, there's question marks for different reasons. I think Nweri gives me a vibe that he could move on.
Well, we were all very nervous about this time last week.
Yeah, I feel like there is something to that because if he can't get into the team...
Yeah, Young Elton Prince said it best. We don't know if in 2 years' time he's at Ipswich or whether he's the best player in England.
I mean, I don't know. I don't know for a fact, but I feel like for 2 different reasons, he could potentially move on. 1, he becomes really good and makes a move. Or 2, he does just fall off and it's a bit Smith Rowe like.
I was thinking Amari Hutchison like.
Yeah. Saliba, I think, will move on.
Yeah. PSG or Madrid is definitely in his future.
Yeah.
I could see Gabriel, if he could, would stay at Arsenal till he's 50.
I feel like Gabriel will stay.
I think in 5 years' time, I don't think Gabriel's at Arsenal. But that's more of an age.
Yeah.
A 31, 32, I don't think he's playing for Arsenal.
Yeah, because we'll have to move on. Saka, I like to think he's still there, and he's the star boy, the star man at this point. But with players like Saka, I don't know. I don't know if it, depending on if we do go on to win multiple titles and we become dominant like we should do now.
Yeah.
Or he just looks at it as like in my career, I need to go see what I can do here.
Yeah.
I need to not in England.
And it's tough, isn't it?
But it'll be somewhere else.
Yeah, sometimes I think with people like Saka and that, like the Gerrard types.
Yeah.
Sometimes it comes down to when you start winning stuff.
Yeah.
That doesn't necessarily mean they'll stay. It
Yeah.
means sometimes they'll leave.
Yeah.
Look at Eze. He wins the FA Cup. It's like, do you know what? I can leave.
Yeah.
With Saka, like if you win the Champions League and the Premier League in the next 2 years, I could see him going, I've done it.
Yeah.
Now I go try something else.
I'm already a
Or
legend.
he's a guy who goes, no, now we're winning stuff. Why would I leave?
I
don't know. It goes either way, and that's the
Yeah.
thing is you don't know. For me personally, I think of those people, I think Saka's still there,
Yeah.
and Lewis Skelly. I don't think any of the others are.
You're in Declan Rice will move on.
I think Declan Rice will be gone in 2 years.
You reckon?
I do. I think he'd be. He'll want to do the Real Madrid thing.
Yeah. Yeah. And follow in the footsteps of Bale and Beckham and these guys that want to
He
experience
wants to
that.
be Beckham.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can do 2 more years, and then he'll be at Madrid or someone Barcelona or someone like that wants him.
Yeah.
PSG, whoever's the biggest team. I don't think he'll go to England. I don't think he'll go to another English team.
No.
I think Waneri, it's just so unknown. I'm just going to say he's not.
Yeah.
But I hope he is. Because if he's not, it's either we've messed right up or it just didn't pan out for him.
Yeah.
Lewis Skelly, I don't know. Yeah, again, he could also, by the end, his sophomore slump.
Yeah.
He's been unbelievable. As I said I just watched him put it in against Man City on the screen and do the Haaland celebration. He could have a sophomore slump. Next year, Lewis Skelly, by the end of the season, defensively, we just can't deal with him. We were all frustrated with him.
Yeah.
And Calafiori's the starting, and then next year we're looking at moving him on to Brentford. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's so hard with football players, especially at that age. And that's why him and Waneri is so hard to suss. Saliba, I think Rice and Saliba in the next 2 years will both be gone. There's a chance the 3 English lads will still be there. But I don't know, that's my guess. I don't know, though. Like, at some point, this team stayed together a long time.
Yeah.
there's going to be some big outgoings eventually.
Yeah.
And that's not necessarily a problem because
You do have to move on.
you shouldn't rely on that one in like Liverpool. Like Salah left, it would feel like a completely different team, and I think that's Saka for us.
Yeah.
Whereas I think if Rice goes, but like Dowman's unbelievable at that point. No one's even thinking about it. Everyone's going, we've got our own Rice.
I mean, you can get attached to teams and that, but stuff does move on. Like we said, if you look back seasons back, there's always these players there that you're like, oh, this is the team, this is the one. And then a few seasons later, you look back and you go, do you remember when Declan Rice was at Arsenal?
We were sitting here going, when Zinchenko and Jesus were there, we're like, I couldn't imagine life without them.
Yeah.
I can't believe we did life without them before.
Yeah.
And then look at us now going, well, when do we move them on?
Yeah. Business.
It's business on business on business. They're just not clocking it that we're standing on business.
Yeah, we are always.
Ben White is another one. Tierney. Ramsdale.
Yeah.
Almost within a year. And that's why, the thing is, we're just getting used to being not a massive club, but like a successful club again.
We're growing.
And I know people will laugh at that because we haven't won anything necessarily, but yeah, we're getting back into that top echelon where it is business.
Yeah.
You know, like if next year, if Odegaard's had a bad year.
Yeah.
He's had a baby, he's had a bad injury. So it could just be that.
Yeah.
But it could also be he's had his best years.
Yeah.
And by the end of next year, when Harry could be our starting number 10, bless you, or Eze, and next year we're looking at moving Odegaard on.
Oh my God, sorry.
That's all right, bless you. But that's what you need. You need the level, the standard needs to be, if you're not up to it, you're gone.
Yeah.
And we're not used to that. That's why we wanted to keep Bellerin forever and Lacazette.
Yeah. We get attached.
Yeah, I like these players.
Yeah.
Tierney is a perfect example. Ramsdale, you like them. You don't necessarily think they're the best player.
Yeah.
Whereas now, like, no one's not interchangeable. Like, I'd say the only players right now that are untouchable is Saka and Rice.
Yeah.
I think everyone else is droppable.
Yeah.
I don't see Saka or Rice ever getting dropped.
No.
But every single other player on that squad, I could see being dropped at any point.
Yeah.
Saliba, he had a couple of shaky games this year.
Yeah.
Gabriel's been dropped before.
Yeah.
But anyone else, I don't know. If Zubamendi doesn't catch up real quick, Norgard will be in.
Yeah.
There's a lot of things. If Gyökeres isn't scoring, Havertz is in.
Yeah.
Martinelli, Eze, Trossard, whoever's on that left at that point, it doesn't matter. But Saka, no matter how he's playing, he'll be in that team.
Yeah, consistent.
Rice, no matter how he's playing, he'll be in that team. And they're the only two undroppable players, I think. And but fast forward 1 year, they might be.
Yeah.
I don't know. That's the thing is I think as fans we got to get used to that new level of like, oh, we're winning now.
Yeah.
So like that's why people like Trossard and that they're so good.
Yeah.
Because they keep that place and they never underperform.
No.
But it has to be. You can't carry someone for 8 games and be like, they'll come good again. It's like, no, like look at Martinelli last year. Everyone started to get on his case.
Yeah.
Because he wasn't playing the best.
You got to keep moving.
As we got Arsenal highlights from last year on. My word, that Declan Rice free kick is unbelievable. That second one is unbelievable.
Wild.
By the way, Moreno just popped one in as well against Madrid. Moreno got assists and goals against PSG and Madrid.
Moreno's quality.
You love Moreno.
I love Moreno.
But yeah, that's the high level sport that I think as fans we have to get back used to. It's just we can't get overly attached to anyone really.
No.
Whoever's the best player should be playing.
Yeah.
And it might not be who we want it to be.
I mean, I might not see Moreno too much this season. I don't know.
That's the thing is like that's the other thing we've got to get used to is like in our head we're trying to figure out who's the perfect 11.
Yeah, we're not going to have the perfect 11.
There's no perfect 11. It'll be interchangeable. And people are like, oh, but Havertz is getting bigger now. We all like Havertz now.
Yeah.
Maybe he's actually better holding the ball up than Gyökeres. He might be better interplay than Gyökeres.
Yeah.
It's fine. They're both going to play a lot.
Yeah.
Don't worry. Like, you know what I mean? Like, there's going to be games where Havertz starts them and we feel good.
It's going to be a long season.
And then Gyökeres comes on to put 3 or 4 past Burnley or something. And we're going to go, cool.
Yeah.
That's just life. But talking to those signings, there's a lot of conversation around Gyökeres not being able to perform in the Premier League. And it's all based on how he played in the Championship when he was 22.
Yeah.
And he had one good season in the Championship out of 3 or something.
Yeah.
It's just the Portuguese league, even though in the Champions League he's putting 3 against Man City.
Yeah.
He won't get that space in the Premier League where he was running in behind Man City, one of the best defensive teams in the league.
Yeah.
If you look at 3 or 4 of our goals last year, Havertz is running in with 40 yards of space ahead of him.
It does happen.
It does happen. People saying he's just awful with his head. Is he? Or are we just saying that because on the internet everyone says that and he doesn't score with his head a lot?
Yeah.
People saying a lot of his goals only come from transition and penalties. And he's not going to be on penalties because Saka's on penalties.
Yeah.
Which is a question I have for you in a second.
Yeah.
we do actually transition a lot.
Yeah.
That's our game, high press. So, and again, we're watching these goals. We're watching Arsenal's goals from last year. How often people like Trossard, Rice, Moreno, they had the ball with a couple inches, like a couple yards of room.
Yeah.
Look, we got Declan Rice running on a goal in space.
Yeah.
Against Bournemouth. This is his bread and butter. He's a better finisher than everyone in that team that isn't necessarily Saka.
Yeah.
And he might be better than Saka at the actual finishing part.
Yeah.
Saka's a better player. But if these guys are getting 20 goals,
Yeah.
there's no way he's not scoring. And people saying, I don't think he'll get goals. He's going to, because, like I said before, you could put a Sunday League centre forward in Arsenal's team and a lot of them will get goals.
Well, everyone on the pitch got 10 to 20.
If you put Paul Mullin up front for a whole season, you get 20 goals, I think.
Yeah.
Because we create a lot of chances. That's why Moreno and that could score so many.
That's what we were missing. That's why everyone was begging for a number 9.
Here's the question I have for you. Gyökeres, massive penalty taker, doesn't really miss. Saka's our penalty taker.
Yeah.
Who's your penalty taker going forward?
Ooh, I'd like to think I'd stick with Saka, but Saka has missed some very important ones last season.
His record's actually very good, but he's missed a couple. And again, people miss penalties.
Yeah.
Salah misses penalties.
You don't
Haaland
score
misses
them all,
penalties.
yeah.
You don't score them all. But I must admit, because of our PTSD, I feel extra nervous with Saka.
Yeah.
I want him to get the goals, but I feel so nervous for him.
Yeah.
That as a fan, I think I might transmit fear to him.
Yeah. I think there is over the history of his penalties and some of the negatives that have come from that. There's some, I don't know if it's the demeanour and the, I'm going to say aura. I don't know if there's an aura. Like, Saka has a very different aura to Gyökeres. Like, I don't know who's a better penalty taker. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know
One's
yet.
wholesome, one isn't. One comes across very, I don't want him to miss.
I mean,
And the other one comes across like, if he misses, he'll just like laugh at people.
Yeah, there's something to the aura of Gyökeres taking a penalty. It's a large Nordic guy who's going to hit it very hard, very sure.
Yeah.
I mean, I'd feel more confident if he was stepping up to take one. I don't know if that is just my fear, like you said, of.
I just don't want something bad to happen to Saka.
That's the thing with Saka is please don't miss. Not because I need you to score, but I just don't want you to have to deal with that.
And I mean, the level of keeper that Gyökeres is taking a lot of his penalties against compared to the level of keeper Saka's taking his at, that's different as well. But for me, I think I'd go Gyökeres. I like the idea of your number 9 being the guy who takes your penalties.
The guy you're relying on having all the goals.
Yeah. So, and then people can stop talking about Saka's, like, Saka scored 20, but how many were penalties? A goal's a goal.
Yeah, I want less pressure on Saka.
If he gets 4 next year because he doesn't take the penalties, then he might be in trouble. So, getting to that is, I wanted to talk a little bit about how strong the Premier League is getting. Because we're getting to that point where it's a little bit crazy.
Oh, yeah.
There's an element of... So, I'll say some of the roundup. Elanga's gone to Newcastle. They're looking at Etikite. They're saying they do not want to lose Isaac.
Yeah.
It's to play alongside to a 4-4-2. So it looks like Eddie Howe wants to move to an old school 4-4-2. And Elton Prince and I voice noted about this because we talk about being managers one day.
Yeah.
I think he's actually started taking his license. And we talk about the 4-4-2 and bringing it back and defending in a 4-5-1.
Yeah.
And I actually like the idea of those two playing together. Gyökeres and Isaac play as a 2 at Sweden.
Yeah.
If Newcastle are dead serious, and I mean, you got to remember, they lost the last 2 games of the season. One was against us, and then they lost the last day.
Yeah.
If they'd won them both, I think they were 6 points over Liverpool.
Yeah, close.
So adding Elanga to replace Murphy, and again, by the way, Murphy had an unbelievable season.
Yeah,
but at some point, we got to go a little bit younger and a higher level player.
Yeah.
Elanga's an unbelievable football player. You bring Etikite in as well to replace Callum Wilson.
Yeah.
The midfield behind them is Tonali, Bruno Gomes, Joe Linton.
I do like their midfield.
They've got a great back 5. They're looking to bring in, I completely blanked on his name then, because Pope's their goalie. They want to bring in the Burnley keeper, the one that talks to JJ Watt a lot, but he's going to leave.
Oh, man. It's on the tip of my tongue.
Oh, my God. Anyone that's listening to this is probably screaming at their phone. But Trafford.
That's it.
He let in 15 goals in the Championship.
Yeah.
They want to bring him in. That's a team that are going, we're the richest team in the world.
Yeah.
We can't spend it all yet, but we're going to make the team hard to play against.
Smart moves.
Because if they play in a 4-4-2, by the way, that's Gordon and Elanga either side of Tonali and Bruno with Etikite and Isaac up front.
Yeah.
Got a defence of, I think, Lewis Hall, Livramento, Shah, Botman when he's back, Dan Burns there.
They're a strong side.
That's a strong team. Ironically, Liverpool also strengthening. They put 120. They look like they're going to test the resolve of Newcastle, who are saying they don't matter what the price is, they're not selling, and they have no interest in selling Isaac. And Liverpool are saying is 120 million for Isaac, which is terrifying. And what Liverpool are doing, which is really aggressive, is they're going, you don't want to accept it. That's fine. We want Etikite. Etikite, do you want to do Newcastle or the champions?
Yeah.
So Newcastle are now going, oh my God, we've got a little plan here to have our two centre forwards.
Yeah, leave us alone.
You're just going to have one of them, just go somewhere else. And Liverpool aren't having it. They're basically going, give us Isaac or we're going to go take Etikite. But if Liverpool, if they got Isaac, Florian Wirtz sat behind Isaac, Salah and Diaz.
Terrifying.
Or Gakpo. And there's talk of Rodrigo.
Yeah.
You know, Cherki over at City with Haaland, Savinho, Mamouche.
Yeah.
Arsenal with potentially, let's say, Eze, Martinelli, Saka, Gyökeres, Havertz with Odegaard.
It's going to be competitive.
Man United with their when they eventually sign Mbeumo after 19 weeks. They got Cunha and Højlund. They'll be all right. Chelsea just won the World Cup and they got Cole Palmer sat behind what looks like Pedro.
Yeah.
It's funny because you say Pedro and then Neto, but Pedro Neto is his name.
Yeah.
But João Pedro and Neto.
Yeah. And João Pedro looks strong as well.
Any of the wingers that they've bought, I'm sure, could be on the other side. But you look at that and you go, oh, that's good as well. So you've got Newcastle, Liverpool, Arsenal, City, all improving. Even look at Tottenham. They've brought in Kudos, which I don't think that guy's as good as, you know, he's a flair player, but he's a problem at times. Like I don't think he's the best football player all around. But they're looking to bring in Morgan Gibbs-White. It looks like there's going to be a legal battle about that. And that's basically down to the fact that they put in an exact bid is a hidden release clause.
Oh, yeah.
So they think there's something naughty's gone on there.
Oh, okay.
Because basically, Morgan Gibbs-White in his contract has a release clause of 60 million, but it's not known.
Oh.
It's not a publicly known thing.
Yeah.
So if a team come in at that or higher, he can go.
Wow.
So Tottenham basically out of nowhere went, we want 60 million Morgan Gibbs-White.
Oh.
And they were like, that's awfully convenient. You've triggered his release clause without any information. So they're saying that they had information and now they're taking him to court about it.
Why would you keep a release clause quiet though? Because the whole point of it is to.
It's like a contractual handshake deal. It's like going, if a big club comes in and this is the money, will you let me go? Yes. It's just a quiet thing.
Yeah.
It's like agreement between the player and the club. And then they've activated it. So they're a bit like, that's convenient. Your first bid wasn't like Morgan Gibbs-White for 50 million would have been normal, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
All of a sudden it was
60 is quite high.
Yeah, here's the exact amount
to
release him. It just seems a bit dodgy, but that's what they think. I don't know if there'll be any proof. We'll find out in time. But they're looking to get him in. Kudos. They've got Kulevsky, Solanke, Brennan Johnson. Teams are improving.
Yeah.
There's teams like Brentford that you do worry about a little bit. They're losing players. Brighton losing their best player. Wolves losing their best player. But the top 7 are really 6 even. Villa aren't necessarily improving at the minute.
No.
Man United aren't necessarily improving quite yet. But at top 6, it could either be one of the maddest seasons ever, or it could be the top 4 or 5, 6 teams. Maybe even you could say top 4.
Yeah.
If you said 5, Chelsea are going to be in and around the title race. Arsenal are going to be in and around the title race. Liverpool are, City are, Newcastle. That's 5 teams.
Yeah.
I don't think you can quite add Tottenham there just because of what they did last year, but they could be under Frank.
Yeah, you never know.
That's 6 teams that could win the league. I'd say realistically, there's 4 or 5 teams there that I'm not even joking could win there.
Yeah. It's super competitive up top, and the gap between the top and the bottom is starting to extend a little bit.
The 3 that are coming up, I think, are actually going to mix in nicely with the next 6 or 7 teams.
Yeah.
Whereas usually there's 2 really good teams, then a massive area of just middle, and then there's the 3 teams that come up, go back down, and get smashed by everyone. I think this year those 3 teams are going to mix in nicely with that next 6 or 7. Then there's going to be a little gap of teams that are kind of in no man's land, and I'm looking at Palace, maybe Man United next year. Brighton always seem to figure it out. Bournemouth, Fulham, they're in no man's land. But then you like some Wolves, the 3 promoted teams. Brentford maybe next year. Even Forest. I'm not worried about Forest a little bit. They could be in a weird spot, but I'll say this: fantasy football is going to be a nightmare trying to get all these players in.
Yeah.
Like, who do you go with? Which is going to at least make it better, because this year it was like, if you don't have Haaland and Salah, you're done. But now it could be Cherki could be the top assist guy this season. Haaland, you've got Gyökeres. If
There's
Isaac
options.
goes there and then Etikite goes there, is Etikite the undercover really good forward you put?
Well, normally everyone has very similar teams.
Yeah.
And it's only a couple smart moves dotted around that kind of push people to the top.
Yeah.
But now, it's going to be a free-for-all. Like, we're not going to know. Everyone's going to have slightly different 11s. It's going to be a real gap.
Real mix, yeah. But the Premier League is getting stacked with players here, which is nice to see, because not everyone's going abroad. For, like, I know it's because England can actually play. Pay and play.
Yeah.
But, it does feel like, we're going to get some big-time players this season.
Yeah.
It's going to be exciting to see. It's going to be an exciting week. I'm hoping by next time we're on this pod. I think might be this time next week is maybe the first game against Milan, is it?
It's coming quick. Season's coming
up.
fast.
Yeah, we're in pre-season. We're officially in pre-season. We'll hopefully have announced those 3 players. And I think once we've announced them, we've sold a couple of players, I think we can all kind of go, all right, business is getting done here. It's whether we can get an extra one over the line or maybe an extra one out the door.
Yeah.
But I'm very 9 out of 10. I'm happy with that transfer window so far.
This is unreal.
I think if we get Eze, it's 10 out of 10 for me.
Yeah, this is one of the better transfer windows I think I've seen. Even currently, even with Madueke and Gyökeres being close, like not done but close.
Yeah,
this is unbelievable.
Yeah, I've never seen anything quite like it. For me,
Eze though, if we get Eze as well, I mean Rodrigo's like a bit pie in the sky. I think in my head, it's a bit of a. It's probably not going to happen. That's just a lot of talk. But I mean, if that's on top as well, I mean I've never seen anything like that, and we never will.
Yeah, all of this seems very confusing.
But we're making big moves at the top now. That's what we've been waiting for so long.
And that's the thing, is we've got ourselves up there. And what's nice to see from the Cronkies is they're not going, well, you're up there now, stay there. Like with Wenger.
Yeah.
You got them up there, and then the board would go, sell your captain, but don't buy anyone.
Yeah.
And then you'd have to keep him there.
Yeah.
And everyone wondered why we weren't going an extra mile.
Yeah.
The only downside with the Arsenal one is last year was the 1 year where like Liverpool's manager was new, so they were in transition. Their players were aging. They hadn't bought anyone really in. City were in flux. Chelsea had bought everyone, but not, and their new manager came in. Arsenal were the only team that was set.
Yeah.
And Liverpool went and won the league.
Yeah.
And it's exactly what we said would happen. That was our year to win the league.
Yeah.
Because guess what? This year, everyone's coming back with a vengeance. So if you're going to win the league this year, you're going to have to be very good.
And also, we're banking on a lot of luck going our way this season, because last season it really didn't.
Yeah, exactly. If we stay fit, we've got a hell of a chance.
Yeah.
But I just don't know if we can. You just can't guarantee things like that. It's just so impossible to know. Like,
oh, you never know now.
It's so
you
hard.
never know. I mean, we never thought a few seasons ago that Arsenal would even be up here.
I thought we'd never challenge for a league again.
No.
And that was about 3 years ago.
Yeah.
Oh, because the amount of money going into other teams, but we're competing.
We're up
and
there.
the longer we stay up here, the longer it will continue, because the PSR, if you keep getting Champions League, you keep getting near the final, you'll keep having the money that you can spend, and you can keep challenging anyone.
And players want to come.
Yeah, the worry is that Newcastle win the league and then they win the Champions League, and PSR-wise, then they're in the Club World Cup in 4 years.
Terrifying.
And then PSR, they go, here's $1 billion. You can spend $1 billion. And they go, well, we've got 400 billion in the bank. So, yeah, and then it just becomes a... In 4 years, when Newcastle's team is Haaland, Saka, and Wineri.
Yeah.
And the midfield is Rice, Wirtz. Just,
It's a worry.
It's Jude Bellingham.
Yeah.
And you're just like, oh, okay. And the rest of us are all like, well. All right. Anyway, that's been the podcast for this week. I'm hoping for some announcements this week. Next week, we'll be talking probably about those announcements, how the preseason's going. More content.
More.
Because I don't think you're clocking
We're good.
that I'm standing on business. I need to know what that quote is, and that'll be the name of the title anyway.
Yeah.
But I'll be back next week. Give us a 5-star review on iTunes and Spotify, and check us out on TikTok, Gunners Are Us Pod. Video every single day. I think that's it.
Yeah, put the mask on.
Well, this is it. They didn't care.
Until we put the mask on.
Exactly. All right. Bye-bye.